Hey guys, Eddie here from Deline Property. Today I'm really excited to show another property that we picked up for a client about a year and a half ago, so roughly 18 months ago. I'm going to share with you a little bit of information about the client's journey, the property that we helped him buy, and when we bought it, obviously a little bit of the details about where the property's at, the purchase price, and also what the property's worth now roughly, what the rent is, type of property this is as well, and also I'll show you a couple behind the scenes photos of inside the property as well. So to kick things off, the client, I believe this was their second purchase with us about 18 months ago, so I think it was around early 2021 roughly. Now again, that's during COVID. This particular one is on the north side of Brisbane by memory, and we picked up this property. It was a urgent sale. We picked it up for just 247,500, so 247.5K. The original purchasers, interestingly enough, that bought this property when it was originally built, because someone basically bought this off the plan originally. They bought it in roughly 2013. Now the previous purchasers paid about 340K for it off the plan. Basically, they overpaid. They bought from marketers, they bought from property investment companies, property spruikers. They paid like 330, 340, bought off the plan in a not so good market in 2013. Fast forward to basically 2021, we picked it up for 247.5K. Now, the original purchasers lost 70 to 80,000 at least on this property. So unfortunately for them, they had to get out of it. They had tenants in the property at the particular time, but I'm pretty sure by memory it was like a separation sale. They had to sell pretty urgently within like the last 2 months essentially. So we were able to negotiate it down by a fair amount. At that particular time, these kind of properties were selling regularly for about 270, 280. So we were able to pick it up about 247.5. The original, when they bought it for 330 off the plan, an important thing to understand is they overpaid by about 30 to 40%, right? So it was never worth 330, 340 when they bought it. It was probably only worth 220, 250. They overpaid, right? Because they bought it brand new off the plan. And unfortunately, this is happening right now in 2022, where people are buying properties in similar locations throughout Brisbane and other states as well, where they're buying them brand new from these property investment, different other spruikers and companies, but they're paying $550 for these now off the plan, whereas they're not worth that much. So, but the amazing thing about this one for a client, we picked it up 247.5. Nowadays, like these are selling for about $400,000, and this is only about 18 months after purchasing the property. So we picked up 247. It was worth around that 280 at that particular time, but the market in Brisbane, as I told you all as it would happen, because I've been buying Queensland for quite some time, I told you there was a boom coming. The boom came, the boom's still here, but the market jumped up significantly. So this property now, they're selling about 400,000. I think one recently sold for about 418,000, and we pick up 247. So the client's up in terms of percentage. Not sure I know it off the top of my head, but that's up like 60 to 70% in terms of actual price jump. So 247 now will be about 400 to 420. That's up. They're up about almost $200,000, $170,000 roughly, which is just huge for a short time like that, which is 18 months. The property, as you can see, is a townhouse. So this is in a complex. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom. You've got 3 toilets in this kind of property. You've got a backyard area, you've got a courtyard. You've got body corporate fees, so you've got strata fees, which are about $3,000 a year. But at the time, when we picked up 247, these were renting for about $350 a week easily. Now the rents have jumped up in the last year and a half because there's a rental crisis throughout Queensland. The rents are going from about $420 to $430 per week. So a good solid yield. And a very funny thing, which I talk to people every single day and trying to educate people. As you probably know, I've got almost 50 properties in my own portfolio. I've been property crazy for quite some time. I've learned a lot. I teach others on how to build their own property portfolio and help them through the property buyers agency as well. But a common question that I always get asked, or even just people trying to tell me something like they know, is that they think that townhouses don't have as good as capital growth as houses. They think that townhouses and units don't have the same market growth trends as houses. I believe it could be further from the truth, as in different states and in different suburbs, they all grow at different times. And with this kind of property, it ticks the massive affordability box. So more people, houses in this area are over $1 million, but this property we picked up 247. Now they're 400 to 420. So more people could afford this property, as an example, now even in today's market for 400 to 420 than people can afford, million, 1.2, 1.1 million dollar house. So it has that affordability aspect, which pulls up the purchase price of these as houses grow, as everything grows. It has a land component as well. But in my portfolio of almost 50 properties now, I've probably got 20 houses, 20 townhouses, units, duplexes, villas, all that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't only just buy houses if I was you. This kind of property would have a much higher yield initially when we bought it compared to a lot of houses out there. So this is a phenomenal buy. 247 and now be about 400 to 420,000. So massive capital growth and a townhouse. So for anyone that says townhouses don't grow like houses, this is proof that they do, and in some cases they can even outperform houses. I remember a couple of years ago and even 18 months ago and even still to this day, everyone says, oh, I want to buy a house, houses have better growth, houses are better, etc., etc. To me, it's not about what type of property you buy. It's not whether you buy a house or a townhouse or a unit or a duplex. It's about what it gives you. And this property here, I wish I could go back in time and buy 100, 300, 500 of these myself, because they're such phenomenal purchases. Not to mention, this property, because it was built relatively new, it still had massive tax depreciation benefits, high growth area as well. So it ticked the boxes of being under market value, capital growth region, and had really good cash flow, still has really good cash flow. So hope this video helps. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.